Now it is time, speaking of the NFL playoffs, for the game of the year, featuring the two most exciting playmakers in all of football, the two quarterbacks who fought it out, play for sensational play down to the wire for MVP. Now it is time for Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen in Buffalo, 8 Eastern next Sunday night. Watch it. This is going to be the showcase of next weekend's playoff games. And now let me tell you about the most awesome thing I saw this past weekend in the NFL playoffs. Even more awesome than what Josh Allen did to Denver in a 21-0 second half. Even more awesome than what the Texans did to the Chargers, outscoring them 32-6 in the last three quarters. Even more awesome than what Jayden Daniels, he is him, he is it, did late in that game Sunday night to my man Baker Mayfield. Jayden did it again. Even more awesome than what the Eagles defense, the NFL's best defense, in my humble estimation, did to Jordan Love, who threw 3 interceptions. They turned it over 4 times. And the Packers managed just 10 points in Philadelphia. But nope. The most overpowering force I saw all weekend long was the juggernaut that has become the Baltimore Ravens, who are going to beat the Bills in Buffalo. And if they have to, they are going to get revenge on Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, this time in Kansas City. And they are going to the Super Bowl because they are just that overpoweringly dominant. They haven't just peaked, they have Pikes peaked. If you'll allow me to paraphrase one of my all-time favorite poems by the mad genius Edgar Allan Poe, quoth the Ravens, nevermore, AFC, it is over. I know as I was watching the game on Saturday evening, my man Kirk Herbstreit, late in the first half, let it fly on Pittsburgh, and I was happy for Kirk. A lot of people think he's a little milquetoasty, a little too vanilla, a little too much buttoned up. Always looks for the bright side, and to Kirk's endearing credit, he took a shot, man. I didn't love the shot because I don't agree with the shot, but Kirk took it. He said, where is the effort in the Pittsburgh Steelers? Where is the fight? They're not fighting back. And I'm thinking, Kirk, you're not seeing the forest for the trees. TJ Watt is fighting his ass off. Cam Hayward is fighting his ass off. Minkah Fitzpatrick, stiff-armed in the face and knocked down, is fighting his ass off. The Pittsburgh Steelers were fighting their asses off, but they were getting steamrolled, Kirk. I'm sorry. I think it's a disservice and a form of disrespect to the Baltimore Ravens that you're saying are suggesting that the Steelers were quitting. They got overpowered. They got overwhelmed. They were just overmatched. Lamar Jackson came into this game 2-4 in the postseason. But you want to talk about on a mission, he was just too good. Derrick Henry was just too good. The Ravens' pass rush and run defense, they were just too good. I'm going to read these stats to you. They read like this game was Ohio State versus Western Michigan. The Ravens held the ball for 40 minutes to 20 for the visiting team. 40 to 20. That's a win in the game, a keep away. That's dominating it. The Baltimore Ravens rushed for 299 yards to 29 for the visiting team. 299 to 29 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had 29 yards rushing. You can't run against Baltimore. Final yardage totals 464 to 280. Ravens went 10 of 15 on third down. Lamar Jackson has mastered the art of when to hold them and when to fold them, when to stand and deliver from the pocket, just throw lethal darts, and when to take off and run. Lamar Jackson doesn't just make you miss. He can run hard. He can run through you. He's a lot smarter than he used to be. He does protect himself, but when it's time, when it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6, when he has to, he will hurt you literally and figuratively. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Lamar Jackson is the greatest baller I've ever seen at that position, quarterback. I'm talking about gamer baller, where you're going to do whatever it takes to win the football game. You're going to give up your body if you have to. Lamar Jackson is physical. Lamar Jackson takes no prisoners. Lamar Jackson has some linebacker in him to go along with the finesse quarterback that he's become. He can throw it hard or he can throw it soft. He has mastered that position. I'm not saying he's the greatest quarterback ever. He just plays so hard, and that team plays so hard for and with him. Lamar Jackson isn't great after the game at explaining how he did it. He always just kind of shrugs and says, I saw the receiver in the end zone. I threw it to him. He was open. But Lamar Jackson has football genius. He has a rare feel for playing that position, the hardest position to play in sports. Sure, this Sunday he could use his most electric wide receiver, Zay Flowers. I do not know about the status of his knee injury, whether he'll be available or not. He obviously wasn't against the Steelers. But Lamar will have Derrick Henry. The Cowboys should have Derrick Henry. I don't know what Jerry was doing in the offseason because he was doing nothing. Derrick Henry made it public. He made it publicly clear that because he has an offseason home in Dallas, he wanted to play for Dallas, run the ball for Dallas. And Jerry just said, we're not interested. We got Zeke and Rico. We good? No, you're not good. I knew what was coming. Derrick Henry was coming. Big D was coming, not to Big D as in Dallas. Big D was coming for the rest of the NFL. Big D said, okay, Cowboys, if you don't want me, watch this. We could have had him. He would have changed life this year. He changed that game on Saturday. He went 26 times for 186 yards. You saw it. I think Derrick Henry has the greatest size-speed ratio in NFL history. He's listed at 6'3", 250. He looks to me like could be 260-ish, 265-ish. He ran 4.5 coming out of Alabama as the Heisman winner. He looks even faster with the ball under his arm. Some guys just have that gear. Just put a ball under their arm, people chasing them, they run faster than they're timed. He's 31 years of age, and he's running younger than he ever has. He is a difference maker at running back and obviously is aided by the threat of Lamar riding and deciding. There was one play on Saturday night where Lamar rode him and then kept it, pulled it at the last second. It's just hard to stop, man. It just torments a defense. It haunts a defense because you get that one big joker or you got Lamar making you miss or running over you at the last second. I'm going to give you this about Buffalo. James Cook is extremely underrated as a back, but he's not Big D. And I've said this again for the last 2-3 weeks. Josh Allen is my MVP over Lamar just because he did a little more with less. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens had 9 Pro Bowl players to only 2 for the Buffalo Bills. So that's the slight edge. Josh. None of that matters. What matters is what happens Sunday night at Buffalo. But now think about this. In a win or else playoff game, this is it. It is 9-2. It's 9 Pro Bowlers to only 2 for Buffalo. The Ravens are just too good for the Buffalo Bills. The Ravens are too hot even in the Buffalo cold. Lamar just trusts Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely too much. They're ultimate security blankets for him. And now they're back and they're healthy. Yeah, I realize Russell Wilson shocked me. He hit 2 big bombs on Saturday, 2 big throws for touchdowns. Took my breath away. But those 2 big shots came when Pittsburgh was down 21-0 and then 28-7. I thought the Ravens put it neutral. I thought they weren't taking it as seriously as they needed to, but they have now gone juggernaut. I think they are the best team in the AFC or NFC playoffs as we speak right here, right now. Josh Allen's going to make some wow plays because he always does. The Bills, who I've said all year